Hi everybody, it's Miss Karen from the Hancock Town Library, and I have a Wilbur? Yeah? What's going on over here? We're showing off our tails. Don't we have wonderful tails? Oh, yes, you have a tail, and there's a fox tail, and a bunny cottontail, and a pig with his curly tail. Why are you showing off your tails today? Because we love our tails. Ah, I see. I like your tails too. And you know what? I have something to tell you. Okay, I'm listening, even though it doesn't look like I'm listening. Well, this is the month of May, right? So next month is June, and we will be having our summer reading program starting June 7th. And the theme is all about animals, and it's called Tales and Tales. There's two different kinds of tales. There's an animal tale and a tale like a story, like a fairy tale or a folk tale. That's what a story is called. So it's going to be a lot of fun, so keep that in mind for June. So today, guess what, guys? What? I have a book that's all about tales. It's called Churchill's Tale of Tales. This is the tale that's a story, and Tales is the tales. What kind of animal is Churchill? Yep, that's right, he's a pig. So why does he have this tail, I wonder? That's very strange. So this is written by Anka Sandhu, Churchill's Tale of Tales. Churchill was a very proud pig, just like any other pig. This is his tale of tales. Churchill valued many things in life: smelling beautiful flowers, painting self-portraits, playing classical music, and reading good books. And he loved to have tea with his friends Billy and Gruff. But Churchill had one thing that he prized above everything else: his tail. It's a curly tail. It wasn't a big tail. It wasn't a fancy tail. It wasn't even a very practical tail. But it was his tail, and it made him feel great. But one morning, his tail was nowhere to be found. Churchill searched here, there, and everywhere. Finally, he gave up searching. He was miserable. I just don't feel like myself without my tail, he said. Billy and Gruff came up with a good idea. They gave Zebra a call. Hello, Zebra, we have a tail emergency. Can you help? Come over. I think we have just the thing. I wonder what that could be. The zebras were happy to help. They had a spare tail for Churchill to try. Oh my goodness, they gave him a zebra tail. But the zebra tail didn't feel quite right. Perhaps I should try some other tails, Churchill thought. So he went to see Peacock. Peacock gave Churchill a tail that made him feel beautiful. Ooh, said Churchill to himself, I wonder what other tails I could try. Look at that amazing peacock tail. A tail from the fish made Churchill feel fantastic. He could do things he'd never done before. But his friends are saying, Churchill never talks to us anymore. It's all these fancy tails. He tried tiny tails, spotted tails, snappy tails, and tails that made him feel big. Trying different tails made Churchill feel so good that he didn't have time for anything else, not even his old friends. Now, thought Churchill, it's time for something very special. His friends are saying, come and play, Churchill. No, thank you. I'm rather busy with my new tails. And look at all these tails he's trying on. So he went to Tiger's house. Tiger's tails were really super. I feel fierce, said Churchill. He looked silly with a tiger's tail. I am the world's strongest, bravest pig, he said. I'm not scared of anything. I'm totally fearless. But then a dark shadow fell across his path. Eek! Churchill felt terrified and very alone. What could it be? A giant mean lizard? An unfriendly blue alien? Or a huge hungry robot with a twisted fork on its head? But it wasn't any of those things. It was just a little bird. What's that on your head? Asked Churchill. Is it my tail? Well, I don't know, the bird replied. I found it in a bush. I thought it was a worm, but I couldn't eat it. It didn't look like a flower. It was useless, so I put it on my head. I've gotten rather fond of it. Oh, but it is my very own perfect tail, said Churchill. Please, may I have it back? Well, said Bird, if it's yours, then you should have it. Thank you, said Churchill. Finding his old tail made Churchill feel like his old self again. He was so grateful that he helped Bird find the perfect thing for her head. Wow. That tiger's tail looks great on his head. Looks like a woolen hat. And making a kind new friend helped Churchill remember his old ones. So he organized a tea party to bring all his friends together. My dear friends, said Churchill, I have been a very silly pig and a very bad friend. Can you ever forgive me? And they did, because they loved Churchill, even though he could be very silly. From then on, Churchill took great care of his own perfect tail, and he was perfectly happy with it. Most of the time. Look, it looks like a squirrel's tail. That was silly. Hey, do you want to swap tails? What do you think? No, I like my own foxtail. Okay. How about you, Bunny? Do you want to swap tails with Wilbur? No, I have a funny, adorable, cute cottontail. I'm keeping it. Okay. How about you, Pig? Churchill swapped out his tail. What about you? Do you want a different tail? No, I love my curly tail. It is rather cute. And Wilbur, what about your tail? Well, I've always kind of wanted a long tail, but I guess my tail is just right for me. What do you think? I think so. I think it's just right for you. Okay, I might have time for a very extremely short book. But it's called The Pig's Picnic by Kiko Kaza. I wonder if there's a tale in this book. It was a perfect day for a picnic. Mr. Pig tried to look his best. He was going to ask Miss Pig to go on a picnic with him. Gee, I hope she says yes, thought Mr. Pig. But he was worried, so he took a flower to impress her. On the way to Miss Pig's house, he met his friend the fox. When the fox heard about the picnic, he said, "Let me give you some advice, Mr. Pig. Borrow my beautiful tail." He wants to borrow his tail? Oh, my goodness. Look at his tail. And look, the fox doesn't have his tail anymore. There, you see how foxy you look? Miss Pig will like that, said the fox. Mr. Pig was pleased. Then he met his friend the lion. When the lion heard about the picnic, he said, "Let me give you some advice, Mr. Pig. Borrow my beautiful hair." There, you see how courageous you look? Miss Pig will like that, said the lion. Mr. Pig was pleased. He's got the lion's hair, his mane, and the lion doesn't have it anymore. Then he met his friend the zebra. When the zebra heard about the picnic, he said, "Let me give you some advice, Mr. Pig. Borrow my beautiful stripes." That's going to be interesting. There, you see how handsome you look? Miss Pig will like that, said the zebra. Mr. Pig was pleased. He had never felt so handsome. Wow, he sure looks different. He finally arrived at Miss Pig's house and knocked on the door. "Will you go on a picnic with me?" he asked. Miss Pig was shocked. "Oh, no," she said. "Who is this monster? If you don't go away, I'll call Mr. Pig. He'll take care of you." She didn't know that was Mr. Pig. I wonder why. Mr. Pig ran back the way he came. He returned the tail to the fox, the hair to the lion, and the stripes to the zebra. And then he hurried back to Miss Pig's house, and once more he knocked on the door. "Will you go on a picnic with me?" he asked again. "Oh, Mr. Pig," she cried, "I'm so glad to see you. Just now there was an ugly monster right here in this yard. I'd love to go on a picnic with you, Mr. Pig." All the way to the picnic, Miss Pig talked about the monster who had visited her house. Her handsome friend, Mr. Pig, listened sympathetically. It was a perfect day for a picnic. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed these tales of tales. And keep in mind, June, pretty soon, we'll have our summer reading program. But in the meantime, I'll see you next week. Bye.